All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's Mrs. Abraham. I hope you're doing well. I have some more things to teach you about plants and how the food we grow, how we eat different parts of the plant that we grow. So, of course, last time we talked about this kind of a plant, a flower. I don't know about you, but I don't eat roses, and I don't usually eat flowers that look like these beautiful ones. I like to have them as decorations, but I don't eat them. But there are lots of parts of plants that we actually do eat. I have some parts with me right now, but before we look at all those parts, let's read this book called In My Garden. And let's learn more about how plants grow. This is called In My Garden. In my garden, sorry about that. In my garden, seeds hide in the dirt. There's a big picture of some seeds. Soon the seeds will grow. I wonder what those will grow into. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. And here's the soil in his garden. The dirt. Oh, here's Twister again. Plant your garden and watch your garden grow. There are all the seeds and the soil. A sunflower starts out as one of these seeds, and then it grows into a beautiful sunflower. Yellow petals. In my garden, a caterpillar rests on a leaf. Let's find the caterpillar's legs. There they are. Those are all of his legs. Touch your legs. Here's my legs. Touch your legs. Watch your garden and watch your garden grow. Sunflower plants soon sprout from the ground. This is called a little sprout. We have just the little stem coming out and the leaves. And look, what are they doing? They're adding water to their garden. In my garden, a mother bird feeds her baby. Wave hello to the baby bird. Here's the baby bird. And the beautiful mother bird. I think those might be finches. You might see birds like that at your house. Let sun shine on your garden and watch your garden grow. Look at all those beautiful sunflowers growing in that garden. The sunflower begins to open. See the green parts? That's more of the leaves, and then the flower is in the middle. In my garden, some seeds become carrots. Take a look at these carrots. And some seeds become flowers. Look at these beautiful red flowers. We can smell the sweet smelling flowers. We can eat the carrots when they grow, right? Now, I want you to take a look at these carrots. On the top, they have lots of leaves. Those are the leaves of the plant. The orange part is the part that grows under the ground, and it's the root. So we actually eat some roots, and we'll talk about that when we look at our samples of parts of the plant that we eat. You can love your garden, and you can watch your garden grow. Sunflowers grow toward the sun. That's why they're called sunflowers. They kind of look like the sun, too. In my garden, plants create shade for the bunny rabbits. You can play peekaboo with the bunnies. They're hiding in the tall plants. Now your garden is grown. You can share your garden. Sunflowers, tall and bright, are full of seeds to plant next summer. These are all the things we found in the garden. Seeds, bunny rabbits, caterpillar, carrots, and sunflowers. All right, so now that we know about a little bit about how things grow in the garden, let's take a look at our different parts of our plant. Now we know we have seeds, and I have lots of seed packets here. I'm not going to take these all out because you wouldn't be able to see them, they're too small. But I have different kinds of seeds. I have cilantro, it's a vegetable we can grow. I have radishes, I have beans, cucumbers, there's some carrot ones over here. We can grow seeds of things that we're going to eat, of vegetables that we want to eat, or we can grow flowers. Here's some beautiful flower seeds that I have. Now at your house, I bet your mommy and daddy might have some seeds too. If you ask your mommy and daddy if they have some seeds that you could look at, if you get them on maybe a little paper plate, and you can take them out of the seed bag they come in, and then you can look at them because all different seeds look a lot different. Now I have, so the seeds are the first part. I have some seeds on my plate. These, let me put them in my hand and show you. These are called sunflower seeds. Now this is the part of the sunflower seed that we eat. And it actually comes from the sunflowers like they were in this book. The middle part of the sunflower holds all the seeds, and at the end of the summer when it dries up, these fall off and they have a shell over them. They have a hard shell, but then when we open the shell we can eat the sunflower seeds. I'm going to eat one. They're pretty good. Sunflower seeds are nutty, and some of you might be allergic to nuts. So if you're allergic to nuts, then don't eat them. Now, we have a seed, and then after the seed comes, we have the roots, right? We learned about that last time. Well, I have some roots on my plate here. Let me put this back. See if you can guess which one of these is the roots of this plant. Carrots. Carrots grow under the ground. Now, I don't have a big, long, tall carrot like in that book that we just read. I have little tiny carrots that were already taken out of the ground and were already cut up into smaller carrots, bite-sized carrots to eat. But when we eat carrots, we are eating the roots. So do you ever eat roots? I bet you do. Let's see, after the roots, then we have the stem. Who thinks they can see a stem on my plate? A stem that we can eat. There's actually 2 stems on this plate, but the one I want to tell you about first is this one. Anyone know what this is? You might eat this at your house. I sometimes like to put peanut butter or cream cheese on it. It's celery. This is a celery stalk, and this is the stem of the celery plant. On the top, if this was in the ground, it would have some more leaves, and it might even have some flowers at the end of it, towards the end of it. But it would have leaves. This is the stem, and we actually can eat the stem. We can break it, and we can take a look at the inside of it. There's a really cool experiment we'll do later on with stems, celery stems, putting them in water. But these we can eat, and they're delicious. This also has a stem. Now this is a cilantro sprig, or a stalk of cilantro. And the stem is also, we can eat this. But my favorite part to eat on the cilantro are the leaves. Take a look at those leaves. They're super yummy. I like to put them on my salad. A lot of times we put them in Mexican food that we eat, like tacos. They're really good. So, we have the roots, we eat carrots. We have the stem, celery. We have the leaves, we have cilantro leaves. You could also have lettuce leaves or spinach leaves. You might eat that at your house. And I picked one of my favorite fruits. This grows on a vine, a little bit different kind of a plant, but it still has roots and a stem and leaves. Anybody know what this is? It's a raspberry. I have some raspberries. Raspberries are the flower part of the raspberry plant, so we can eat flowers. You might eat strawberries, you might eat apples. Those are all the flowers of those kinds of plants. I love to eat raspberries, and I know you guys do too. So those are different kinds of parts of the plant that grow. And you have a paper like this in your packet. If you want to take, and you can cut this out and you can glue it onto a piece of paper. And maybe you could even find a picture of different roots and different leaves and different fruits and different stems that you like to eat. Or have your mommy and daddy help you write the words for different ones, different stems and fruits and different things that you like to eat. That might be kind of fun if you have some time. Let's talk about soil. So we talked about how plants need 4 things to grow, right? Who remembers what those 4 things are? Plants need a seed. So that's number 1. Plants need soil or good dirt. That's number 2. Plants need the rain. And plants need sunshine. So we talked about good soil, good dirt. I wonder what's in the soil. Have you ever gone outside in your yard and dug around? Maybe your mommy and daddy have a garden, or maybe there's a spot where you can dig. So sometimes you dig in sandboxes, and that kind of soil isn't very good for growing plants. Sandy soil isn't super good, but soil that's dark and dirty, dark brown, and that's good dirt, that's good for growing plants lots of times. So let's find out what's in the soil. This is a fun little book I like to talk about that tells us, that I like to read, that tells us what's in the soil. So these kids were digging in the soil and they found some roots. Look at these plants. These are actually weeds that they're pulling out. They found the roots. They pulled out the bottom of the plant and found the roots. We found some rocks. A lot of times there's rocks in the soil. If you're going to plant something, you might need to take out the weeds and the rocks that are in the soil. Ooh, we found some bugs. Look, they found some bugs too. Bugs are good for the soil. Bugs give it lots of nutrients. That helps the plant to grow. We found some worms. When you're digging in soil, you might find worms, earthworms that live in the soil. Earthworms are super important to helping plants to grow. We found some snails. I've never dug in a garden or in soil and found snails, but you might. Some places you might. We found some spiders. Lots of times we find that in gardens. Look, these kids are planting their garden now. And we found some fun. It's pretty fun to get in the soil and dig and plant things. It's a little bit too cold out right now to be able to plant gardens outside. But I gave you a special bag that you could start planting and you could dig some soil. I gave you a bag that looks like this. Inside your bag, I gave you 2 bean seeds. I have a whole bunch of bean seeds here. The little white bean seeds. I gave you 2 of those to try growing. Now there's a couple different ways you can grow bean seeds that are really fun, but in this bag you can have your mommy and daddy help you open it up, and then you could go out in your backyard with a shovel, or even maybe probably a shovel would work best, and dig up some good soil. Maybe put it into a cup or bring this right out there with you and put some good soil right into this bag. Don't fill it up too much. Just put a little bit in there. And then you can take some of your bean seeds, take your 2 bean seeds and drop them right in that soil. If you have other seeds at your house that you wanted to plant in here, you could do that too. You could grow a few different things in the soil. Then, so we have a seed in soil, right? What else do we need to grow? Water. You'd have to add a little bit of water. You don't want to add too much water. You just want to add a little bit of water to make it so that the soil is wet. You want your soil to be a little bit wet, but not dripping. Then you need to zip it really tight closed. Mommy and Daddy can help you with that. And you can use this to hang it up on a window or on a door that has a window. Someplace where it's nice and warm and where it gets lots of sunshine. And then you can watch your bean grow. It'll only take probably a few days and you'll start to see a bean sprout like the one in this picture. Like the one right here. You'll start to see a little bean sprout. It'll be growing inside your bag. So you only want to put a little bit of dirt in there so you can watch it grow. And when it gets really big, you could take it out and plant it into a pot or a cup or even outside if it gets warm. So those are fun things to do. I have another song for us to sing. A song I gave you in your new packet. It's called This Is the Way We Dig God's Soil. Okay, so get your diggers ready. We're going to pretend we're digging. Okay, and this goes to the tune of the mulberry bush. Here we go around the mulberry bush. All right. This is the way we dig God's soil. Dig God's soil. Dig God's soil. This is the way we dig God's soil. Thank you, God. This is the way we plant God's seed. Plant God's seed. Plant God's seed. This is the way we plant God's seed. Thank you, God. This is the way God sends the rain. Sends the rain. Sends the rain. This is the way God sends the rain. Thank you, God. This is the way we can do this. God's sun shines down, sun shines down, sun shines down. This is the way God's sun shines down. Thank you, God. And this is the way God grows the plant. Grows the plant. Grows the plant. This is the way God grows the plant. Thank you, God. That's a pretty fun song to sing when we talk about seeds. I have one more story for us to read today. I hope you're having lots of fun with your different plant projects. This is one of my favorite flower books called The Tiny Seed. It's by a guy named Eric Carle, who actually I think lives in Wisconsin. The Tiny Seed. You're going to have to really look at this book in order to see the seeds. It's autumn. Autumn is another word for fall. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will he be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others, way up by the sun. Up, up it goes until it flies too high and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails along with the others. Here it is. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed flies into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down into the desert. It is hot and dry and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. It's right there, just tiny on top of the grass. Now it's winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. Look at that. But the tiny seed lies very still, right there, tiny. And the mouse doesn't even see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted and it is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full that they start to burst open a little. Now they're not seeds anymore. They are plants. First they send roots down into the earth. There they are, they're sending their roots down. Then their little stem and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and the air, just like that. There's another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. This big one, it's a big fat weed and it takes all the sunlight and all the rain away from one of the smaller little new plants. That little new plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't really begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally it too starts to grow into a plant, growing up towards the sun. The warm weather also brings children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in the springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and, oh no, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, right here. But his neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It's taller than the trees. It's taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It's a giant flower. Look at that giant flower. Taller than the house and the trees and the people. That's grew from the tiny, tiny little seed. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower as this one. Now it's autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. So some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. There's a few more petals left. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind and begin their journey just like the tiny seed did. Isn't that a great book? It's called The Tiny Seed, and you might have this book at your house, or when you get to go back to the library, maybe you want to look for this book at the library someday. I hope you enjoyed our time today, our lesson about flowers and plants and seeds. We'll come back for some more next week. See you guys later.